What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Cantina Jargon, episode 33.
Yeah, 33.
Right on. Last night we had the Acolyte finale. Season finale or series finale?
Who knows?
Nobody knows. I don't even think Leslie knows.
It's a toss-up, dog. Like it's gonna be either or.
Yeah, it was interesting. It played like a season finale, though.
Yeah, I have to say too, since Mando season 2, this has felt like the best season finale that we've gotten in terms of like action wise.
You're gonna say
I like this better than the Ahsoka finale,
but you're gonna say more than even Kenobi. See, I don't love Kenobi, but the finale, man, the Vader.
I still think Mando season 2 finale tops Obi-Wan.
Oh, I know. I agree. Mando season 2 is like my S tier.
I guess
right? I'm saying.
So I guess like Acolyte, Obi-Wan, and Mando.
Yeah. See, I'm not gonna put
Acolyte, Obi-Wan, Mando.
Well, I mean, I will say this: it was better than the Ahsoka finale, but Ahsoka had better episodes. Like, I'd rather watch episode 5 of Ahsoka than this finale.
I'm not even talking about like the story. I'm just saying like just the sheer action wise. Is where
the lightsaber fight was very, very good. When they were in the corridor and the blades were slicing through like the rock, like that's what I want to see. Like, how lethal are these things? Like, that's what I want to see.
I also loved. I was calling it on the watch party my Force Fu, because it's like Kung Fu but with the Force.
Oh yeah,
and, I love Crouching Tiger, Hidden
like
Dragon,
the kicks and all that.
Yeah, and so like when I was seeing that, and I'm thinking, I was like, dude, like I'm loving this.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I will say the Osha May fight, I don't know if it's because like it's the same actor doing it. Like, it looked off to me. Something looked off there. And I'm just like, okay, can we get back to like Soul and Kamir? But
I kept trying to say like think I'm like I was trying to see if they were gonna slip up and show the stunt double at all.
Yeah.
I kept like trying to see like, okay, are they gonna show it? But I mean, it just felt like May fighting the first time with Soul.
Yeah, it did feel very similar. But at least there, it's like they're able to show more wide shots because they're not like trying to hide something, you know. So, which they were clearly trying to do here. Yeah. So in the end, that's whatever. I'm still like. I got some of your thoughts last night during your watch party, which is great. And it seems like you really enjoyed it. But like, how do you feel about the show overall? So we've seen one whole season. Are there any live action TV series that you think are worse than this? Do you think it's one of the best? I mean, like, where does it rank for you? I mean, where are you at? We've seen a whole season now. We can judge it all we want.
Yeah. So on Friday, I'm releasing like my full entire thoughts, so I don't want to go too deep into it. But I would say definitely not the worst show. Definitely not the best either, though. I still have to say I think Kenobi, story-wise, almost was worse. Just because it was such a letdown compared to where I had zero expectations.
Yeah. No, like, I completely agree. At the end of the day, do I think the show was amazing? By any means, no. But man, I'll never get over the disappointment of Kenobi, I don't think, especially because of the expectations, right? So it's like I still can't put it below Kenobi. No way.
I just happened to come across the Kenobi trailer yesterday and listen to it, and I was like, dude, don't put Duel of the Fates. Like,
the trailer is so good.
I got hyped, and I got hyped for it, and I was like, I'm gonna go watch Kenobi. And then I reminded myself, I'm like, this is not even in Kenobi. Why am I getting excited? And I was just like, shit. Like, I just really just hyped myself up for nothing.
If you want to watch Kenobi, what you do is you skip to episode 6, and then you just watch episode 6, and then you're done.
Yeah, you just watch literally just the fight.
The fight.
You're just done. And then you skip to the Qui-Gon part and the hello.
Yeah. Patterson cut.
Yeah.
Patterson cut is okay because it skips the whole like what's her name? Reva on Tatooine stuff. Yeah. It skips all that, which is nice. So I compare the ending to with the Tripsy. It hurts, but when it ends, you feel better. I don't know what that word is.
I'm scared.
I guess
to
I'm
look it
not
up.
educated because I don't know what that is. So I don't. I have no idea, but it hurts. But when it ends, you feel better. Yeah, I gotta say,
Oh, okay. It's
I'm.
kidney stones. It's like passing a kidney
Oh,
stone.
jeez. Yeah, for some of those episodes, man, it was painful. I'll agree, it was painful for a few episodes. So, but it's over now. I do not think there's going to be a season 2. I've been looking at the Nielsen ratings, man, and it's not even stacking up against Andor. I don't think they're going to get a season 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm only hopeful just because of the Velma situation. Is the only reason why I'm like I feel like it's still the cards are still in play.
High engagement.
Yeah, tomorrow since it's done, I'm gonna binge it with my wife. And I also not do that like watch it all the way through all in one sitting before making my video and see if that felt better.
Oh yeah,
because I genuinely feel like that's gonna be the case.
Dude, the way that episode 8 picked up right at the end of like where episode 6 ended, yeah, this should have been cut completely different.
That's what I'm saying. This could have been 4 episodes, 1 and 2, 3 and 7, and then 4 and 5, and then 6 and 8.
4 Game of Thrones length episodes is all we need. Yeah.
Well, hey, too, all 8 episodes can be watched in 4 hours. They're roughly all 30 minutes long. So as I'm saying, like that's 4 hours of just pure enjoyment. Well, I don't know about pure enjoyment, but
well, there would be one full flashback episode there, and it would not be great. Let me just put it that way.
So. And that would be like the rough hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
But then after that,
you
get like, you just get to the point where it's good. I don't know.
Yeah.
So should we talk about the big reveal?
Yes, but I do want to discuss some general thoughts first, because obviously massive cameo in the show, which we will talk about. But and obviously legends, implications, all that stuff, which is what we do here. We talk about legends and canon and how they differ, and all that stuff. Tony's in the house. Thanks for joining, Tony. I do want to address this comment, though, because this is like a generalization of the show, right? So, Barb's Basement, welcome. Thanks for joining, man. Enjoyed every episode but the flashback ones. The main issue is Osha May is the weakest part of the show, and they're the ones that center around. This is my exact thought. I'm like, the fights, episode 5, episode 8, amazing. I'm like, some of the best choreography we've gotten under Disney. Kamir as a character, extremely interesting.
Yeah.
Soul as a character, very interesting. Now we have a possible other Sith in the mix, right?
I would even say with Venestra too, because
Venestra, something's going on with her, man.
Why would a Jedi call their Padawan their pupil?
Yeah,
that's where
I
I'm
don't
like
it at all. Yeah,
because she left the Order for some time, so I'm thinking that's where that's a theory for a whole different video I'm gonna make, but. Yeah, there's something very interesting there with her as well. So that's like there's
the
big,
amount of
there's
lies too that she's spinning. Like something's off with her, man.
Yeah.
But no, that's what I'm saying though. Like, absolutely, there are some good characters in the show, and there's some great action. But like at the end of the day, I don't care about the main characters, I guess, at all. Like at all. When they're on screen, I'm like, let it be over. Can we get to the next person? Because I just do not care. And that's a major writing problem with the show, I think. If you don't care about what the main characters are doing or what their main motivation is or their conflict, I don't know. Why am I supposed to care then overall if the show sees another season or not? Just because I'm excited for the cameos?
I'd say like the fact that the most favorite parts of the show are everything that the main characters aren't in, I think also says something too. Like if the main characters weren't in the show, it would have been a banger.
Yeah, it would have been so much better.
Which, and it's not even like I'm hating on it. I'm just saying like I just feel like the twins took away from the actual story. Like, if this would have just been centered around Kamir from the get-go, insane.
Oh, yeah, dude, it should have been centered around Kamir, obviously, trying to find an acolyte or something along those lines. Also, I just want to say, May absolutely should have been killed in the finale. This mind wipe business. Why? Like, we have to deal with that now next season? Like, why?
And I don't know.
What is that? What purpose does that serve? Like, that's my question. What purpose does that serve?
Plot armor. I was just gonna say, like, I genuinely, like, I would have been fine with it if it just seemed way more harder and couldn't just happen like that. Like, it just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it should have been a little bit more like deserved, or like I had to work for it more.
Yeah, it happens so fast. It's like, she's like, okay, just mind wipe me and you go with him. I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay, done.
I did like though how they explained how May survived with the reactor shaft, because it reminded me of Luke from Empire on Cloud City.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
When she explained it, I'm like, oh, this is exactly like Empire.
Got sucked in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It even looked similar. The area they walk through. So
yeah,
that was cool. And I'm fine with that explanation. I'm glad we got an explanation because we didn't see it in the flashback, obviously. Yeah. So I'm glad we got an explanation there.
I will say too, one thing that I don't think people realize, and like, because it was just a subtle nod, the fact that Kamir is doing all this fighting without even being able to see, and just using the Force is truly insane.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The helmet is badass. Kamir's badass. His lightsaber's badass. Best character in the show, I would argue.
Yeah. Mike says it should have been written completely different. Soul comes off at the end like a pedo. Okay. I mean, not the end part, but I like,
yeah, should have been written differently, quite a bit differently.
And I don't know how true it is. I just was looking through the episode and I noticed too, like Soul's body moves a couple times from like where it actually was. Like his body like teleports around.
That could just be
I still think that's just like an editing thing. Like they didn't put two and two together. I don't know. I felt like Soul's death should have been rougher. Like it just felt like so simple of a way to go out, and it didn't even like when he got Force Stroke. I was like, wait, he's still alive? Like that was. It didn't feel.
I know. I kind of just thought
it didn't feel like he got choked.
Like
yeah.
I thought he was gonna like catch his breath and be like, I'm fine, but no, he didn't. I guess he's dead.
Tony says, I'm editing my own version of the series and merging episode 3 to 7 to make a new episode 1, 2, and 4, 5, and 6, and 8. Afterwards, I want to watch that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, I would, Tony, definitely share that. Lightsaber fight was the best. 3 fights were all doing great. Yeah, lightsaber fights were great. I don't think anyone can argue that. I don't think even haters, like major haters of the show, can argue that.
And I love the fact too that they brought their group in from Rogue One. It just shows that like they definitely care who they're bringing in.
Yeah, agreed. The only good thing about the show were the new planets, alien creatures, new races, and blasters. The rest was as fun as having a root canal. Lightsaber fights, like we just talked about, were solid. I mean, come on, Mixmaster, you got to agree with that. But yes, I like going to new locations. And,
I do too. And I've still been saying, like, I know they're not related, but those little animals that are on a Beldemic, they look like face-wise, they look a lot like the Rakatans, or like some like offspring of the Rakatans. Like it's just like I'm just seeing a lot of similarities between the two. Like obviously they look different, but the head shape it just reminds me of the Rakatans.
I mean, I definitely think they borrowed stuff from Legends, regardless. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they've talked about it. So
Tony from Star Wars said this earlier. I'm more excited probably just to see this behind the scenes of this show than anything. To see like what they took from Legends, like what they wanted to incorporate.
Yeah,
like, the concept art behind it.
I will say the aliens, every single alien, even like the little Senate scene, they all look good. The aliens look good. From the first episode where we see the Nemoidians to the last episode where we see the moon, they look good, man.
I mean, even down to the green little fucker, like it looks perfect. Like,
yep, yeah, I agree. Barb's Basement says a lot of the dialogue about the show online, I think, is incredibly overblown. I swear, if someone says Kiadi Mundi save Breaker's canon,
I think I understand. Basically, saying that like
Kiadi Mundi's age breaks canon. That was definitely a typo. I'm putting my head in a wood chipper. I agree. I mean,
like the same thing with like Plagueis. Like ages change, whatever. Like I'm not worried at all. Honestly, I'd prefer it then because then we have more time with the character.
My only thing about Plagueis. Let's talk about Plagueis. We see him it's Plagueis.
Yeah, no, it's Plagueis.
Plagueis has a very rich history in the EU, in Legends. So a lot of people, and it's probably one of the most popular books from Legends as well.
Arguably, yeah.
So a lot of people have a lot of expectations about who Plagueis is, how he should be, what his history is, and I don't really think they can fuck with it.
I would say no, unless they bring in James Luceno. I'd be like Lieutenant Zahn to like have to okay every single thing with him. That's the
Like,
only way I could get behind it.
yes, and even then, Luceno would need to write a new canon book like Zahn did for Thrawn.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it going. Because that is tough, man. I'm already like, okay, where's Tenebris? Like, is he dead already? Are they just shifting everything back, but the book still stands? That's a possibility. I'm fine with that.
And that was exactly what I said last night. Was like, if anything, that already happened. Like that's just like 10 years ago. Like we're just seeing the aftermath of it. And like because somebody said like, so is Tenebris just gone? Like is this just retcon? I'm like, no. That probably definitely based off of his age right now and how he looks, that definitely still happened. It just happened off screen before.
Yeah, that's my thought as well. And do you think, obviously, if this series did get the planned 4 seasons, I think it obviously ends with Kamir, Osha, May's demise, Plagueis finding his new apprentice, who is a young Palpatine.
Chief, yeah.
I think we all can agree on that,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I honestly, I'd want that to be the end of season 2.
Just season 2. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine if the show just turned into a Sheev or Plagueis show? That'd be crazy.
I don't know if so I didn't really mention this much in my video I made today about Plagueis, but my thought was if season 2 picks up right where we ended off, we could just hear him like the Sith scream and see him just leap through the fucking air towards Kamir and just start trying to kill him before Kamir gets the chance to turn on him. Because I'm pointing out my video that like he's not there like just like Kamir doesn't know he's there. He's there watching Kamir and seeing if he's gonna turn on him like he had done with Tenebris. And
So
he's fully seeing him make this pact.
Do you think so? But so Kamir doesn't know he's there watching, but does Kamir know? Okay, Plagueis is Plagueis his master? Is he on his own? Is he rogue?
I guarantee Plagueis is his master. Just based off of the fact, like,
see, that messes with Legends a little bit, and I think people are gonna have a problem. I think and I'm not saying I'm necessarily gonna have a problem. I've always liked the Plagueis story, but like, my problem is unrelated to whether his master is. Or whether he's Kamir's master, or whether Tenebris is dead, or whether he's a little older. My problem is not lie there at all. My problem with Plagueis being in the show is the issue of him creating life and possibly getting it elsewhere from the witches instead of coming up with it on his own. That's a whole nother issue. I'm not going to open that can of worms right now.
Yeah.
But so you do think Kamir knows, okay, Plagueis is my master.
Yeah, and I think Plagueis sent Kamir, like, you obviously know, like, Vader was sent to go do Palpatine's bidding. Like, he was sent on these missions to go to these places all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kamir was sent to go find Cortosis ore. And he stumbled upon Baldemic, found it, and he was contemplating, contacting Plagueis about it. But Plagueis had taught him, like, not taught him, but he had told him of the stories of, like, grafting it to your helmets, your armor, and it deflecting lightsabers. And I think he decided then that he's not going to tell Plagueis. And he wants to find a pupil to overthrow him because he wants it for himself. It's incredibly rare, and he might even be in fearful of his life. If he brings this back to Plagueis, Plagueis could just kill him and take it for himself. So I think, like, Plagueis was I guarantee Plagueis was following him the entire time, like Kamir was with May, just from a further back standpoint. Like, he's not gonna be contacting with him, but he's just gonna be watching from the shadows, seeing if he's loyal to him or not. I feel like Plagueis would be pulling the strings just like Palpatine. Because where would Palpatine have learned it from? Plagueis is Plagueis the wise for a reason.
Sure.
I don't know if that made sense at all.
No, it does, and I think it's. I think that you could be on the right track, but like I'm gonna go back to the EU again already. But Tenebris like knew about Baldemic in Legends, and he was trying to like mine as much Cortosis ore as possible. Yeah. So it's possible he already learned this location from Tenebris or something like that. I don't really know. I mean, that's the way I would think it would go. And if that's the case, maybe Tenebros is alive and there's like an all-out like contest in the Sith right now. Like, who's going to be the two? Maybe there's more than just Khmer out there. Maybe there's another one out there too. And
Plagueis had several. So
yeah, like, and Plagueis is like, look, one of you is going to fight for the right to be my, you know, apprentice, and then we're going to take out Tenebros.
That would be insane.
That would be it. That would make a hell of a season 2.
Spoiler for you, because Tenebros dies. Baldemic.
Ooh, okay.
From Plagueis.
Okay, yeah.
Trying to take the like Cortosis ore for himself.
Well.
So the Cortosis, yeah, I can't speak right now.
Cortosis.
The Cortosis, yeah, battles. That's where we're going. I can't. Yeah. Trying to record my video earlier, trying to say it. That took me like 5 minutes each time. I just started copying and pasting that one like word.
Cortosis.
Like, while in the recording, for some reason I struggle with that so hard. That and specifically. Yeah,
it's all good. That's a really interesting point, man. That's Tenebros could still be alive, and if he dies on Baldemic, that'd be crazy.
I mean, without a doubt, this is Baldemic, the unknown planet.
Yeah. Oh no, it is.
Without a doubt,
it is. I think we're all in agreement. It is.
Especially after I went back and went to the Gandhi Clone Wars and like looked at it, I was like, oh, this is exactly the same beach. Like it looks very similar.
Yeah, they really they translated it well in live action, I think.
I'm gonna leave it up for you.
Dude's an alien with a peen head. I love that, dude. That's so funny. Yeah, I can believe he's slightly older than we thought. No big deal there. Llama Prop, not a fan. Not a fan of the train wreck that is Acolyte. Tell us how you really feel, Llama Prop. I want to hear more. You're forgetting one of them had their mind wiped.
Yeah,
I know. I'm not a fan of Oshime, but whatever.
You're welcome, dude. That's what I'm here for.
There you go. Go to Caden's channel if you want breakdowns, guys. I don't have time for that right now, but I really do hope by time Skeleton Crew comes out, I'll get back into that a little bit.
I am so excited for Skeleton Crew.
I really am. Dude.
After looking at the Lego set leaks, I can't wait.
That's gonna be a fun show, and it's gonna be really different.
It's John Watts,
in a good
way.
It's John Watts. It's right. It's John Watts. He's like taking Amblin movies as an inspiration here, and it's Star Wars. I mean, Jude Law, count me in.
Yeah, there's not a single bad Jude Law movie that I've seen either.
Yeah, count me in.
Even though there were certain plot points that were predictable to the end of the series, most plots were not, and very entertaining. I agree. A lot of things changed from what I originally thought. So yeah, it kept me on my toes. I felt challenged sometimes.
Starlight, welcome.
I dislike the show, but I'm excited for season 2. I wonder what they will do for Plagueis. I hope to see Plo Koon. That'd be interesting.
Plo Koon would be really young at this point, right?
Let me check the Legends age for when he's born. Okay, so he was born. Okay, doesn't even say when he was born. He doesn't have a birthday. He doesn't have a birthday for canon. So, for Legends, he was born 382 years before the Battle of Yavin. So he easily could be alive.
He is alive, and I mean, he should be alive, basically.
Yeah. So according to Legends, he's almost 400 years old by the time he dies. And in canon, he doesn't have a birth date. So doors open.
Filoni would love that.
Yeah, you would. I don't know if you saw the short I made. He had a Plo Koon costume in his garage that he wore to Comic-Con.
Wait, really?
When he got the job for Clone Wars, he was building a Plo Koon costume in his garage and a Kit Fisto one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Such a fanboy, man. I love it.
He is. Tony says, I was hoping that the wood revealed the unknown planet at the end. Yeah, I was too when we saw Plagueis. I was expecting it to change to Baldemic. I also saw a theory that anytime that we saw a wide shot of Osha and Khmer, like on the planet that like wasn't in the cave or like when they're close-ups. It was from Plagueis' point of view, and I really like that like way of thinking for episode 6 and 8.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's like always watching, lurking.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's like in the background anywhere in like episode.
I
6.
tried with episode 8. I didn't see anything. 6 is possible, but 8 I definitely didn't
crazy.
see it.
Wouldn't that be crazy if no one spotted it? Barb's basement autocorrect. It happens to all of us. Episode 5 is clearly the best episode because it was all battle. Unfortunately, this was supposed to be a Star Wars movie, not a John Wick movie. So we didn't know to turn off our brains first. Episode 5 was my favorite episode. And just because of, like you said, it was the action, definitely.
Yeah. Even when he, like, I knew that, but even when he said it, I was like, I don't know if I can do 4 seasons.
It's not getting 4 seasons, dude. This show cost them what $180 million, and we got 8 episodes,
times that by 2
30-minute episodes.
Yeah, and you got to times that by 2 for the marketing as well. So
oh, they marketed the shit out of this. So yeah.
Which
it's not happening.
Don't get me wrong, I'm all for it. You can market the shit out of it. Like Deadpool and Wolverine is the perfect example of marketing done well.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, that's everywhere.
Did you see the Xbox controller?
Yeah, I cannot go like anywhere without seeing something about Deadpool and Wolverine. It's so funny.
I told my wife, I was like, I might have to get an Xbox now. Like, I have a PS5, I have a PC. I was like, I might have to get an Xbox now with that controller and console set.
That's so funny. That freaking controller, dude, with the on the back. Oh my god, it's so funny. Just want to say I respect your opinion, and if you enjoy the show, that's amazing. Some writing choices were a bit off, but it was okay. 6 out of 10. I'm leaning 5 out of 10, but I also
was leaning 6.5, 7 for like overall the thoughts, because I can forgive some of the bad stuff because of how good the combat was, like with 5 and 8.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't know, I really loved the hand-to-hand combat in 8. Like, to me, that really hit home.
Yeah. I would have to agree that the combat in 8 was phenomenal. I mean, it definitely bumps it up a notch for me. And just at the end of the day, like I wish I was like sitting here being like, oh, I'm ready for a season 2. Like, I can't wait, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't. If it doesn't continue, I'm not gonna be mad about it.
The only reason why I'm gonna say that I'm the opposite is because I hate getting these like half-baked stories, like Solo especially. If I don't want to leave off on a cliffhanger and not get the result of it. So like with the Plagueis thing, like I want that to be fully fleshed out. You can't just put him in last episode for 5 seconds and not do anything with it. I would feel like that's like a slap in the face. At least that's how I feel about it anyway. Maybe not by the same people.
No, I agree. And I 100% agree about Solo. That is one of the roughest ones ever, because it's like that was about to get crazy with him going to Tatooine to work for Jabba and Maul and Crimson Dawn coming into the story. Like, yeah, we could have even got a young Boba Fett in that story at some point. I mean,
we were going to get a trilogy too with that, and it would have been just insane.
With probably the fall of Crimson Dawn at the end of that trilogy, it would have been, that would have been something amazing.
It probably would have even led into like the Hutts, like with Boba. Like I guarantee that.
I think
a plot point.
I think so. That one is a crime that we never got that continued, but not enough people saw it in the theaters. Which is a similar situation what's happening with the Acolyte, right? Like, not enough people are really watching it to warrant the budget it's getting, especially when there's only 8 episodes per season. I mean, Andor had a similar budget, yet lower, and had 12 episodes with a growing audience week by week. So,
and looked way better too. I would say,
the visuals way better.
It just felt way more grounded, and I think that was the point. Like, stylistic wise, but.
I agree. It did. It felt like we're in real locations, kind of thing.
As unfortunate as it is, the different teams really make up the difference. Like working on these shows, like the different teams really show.
Yeah, I mean, I think alone looking at like Mando and what they're able to do with the budgets, like the Favreau's team, Filoni's team, like have this like production down to a science where they can do it effectively and efficiently.
Same thing with Gilroy's team too.
Yeah, Gilroy's team, dude. Whew, what they did with a 12-episode season, where to me is incredible. I would love for Gilroy to get the Old Republic. That is like the dream for me right now.
Don't get my hopes up, dude.
It's not happening. Don't worry about it. It ain't happening.
Maybe after Dawn of the Jedi.
I feel like I was headed somewhere with this whole thing, but I don't know anymore. I don't know. I was headed somewhere with it, but I'm just like, I get stuck on talking about the other shows so much, but I don't. Let me just reiterate. I get what you're saying about like I don't like the dangling of keys like in front of me and then I doesn't continue.
Yeah,
like Solo is the perfect example, but for me here, I'm actually a little concerned if it continues. Like, why is Yoda being brought into the mix now? Is she gonna just straight up lie to his face, or because he's not gonna sense that? Like Yoda should be one of the most powerful Jedi in the Order, right? It's kind of bugging me that he wasn't involved anyway when there's like a dozen Jedi killed.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I want it continued, just not by the same team. Like, if you can give it, if you give it to Gilroy's team to continue, like, dude,
you imagine how much that would like change the show overnight? That'd be crazy.
It would be. It would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Love to have it, or even give it to John Watts' team. I know we haven't seen anything of Skeleton Crew, but literally his track record tracks. Like,
he's a really good writer.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he would be able to turn it around.
Yeah.
Just don't use as much blue screen as he does.
They're not gonna take the show away from Leslie. They could hire a new writer's room. That's obviously an option.
I mean, one thing they could do. I don't even know if this is the right thing to say, but get Pablo in there more.
Maybe.
But I mean, he also could have been the one feeding it too. So I don't know.
I don't know, man. Hidalgo isn't like. I don't think he cares at all about the EU, and that's what bugs me a little bit.
For him being the lore master, that kind of like.
Right. He's a canon lore master though.
He's one of 4 too. Yeah. So like it just. I don't know. I feel like
but now Filoni is the creative director. He decides ultimately. Filoni's going to say yes or no.
And I'm going to say this once again because I say it every single stream. Filoni didn't greenlight the Acolyte, and he didn't get final say on it because the show was already halfway done filming by the time he got promoted. So he had no say in canceling it at all. If anything, he probably pulled Yoda out of the mix of the show before. So
pre-production was basically complete by the time he.
Yeah, they had a month and a half of filming left by the time that Filoni got his promotion.
Yeah. With the whole Plagueis thing, it made me theory craft and actually wonder about what happens next with this set of the Sith. My mind got formatted to factory settings after Ahsoka. Oh, so for me, after Ahsoka, I'm like, damn, what's Thrawn up to? Like, is he about to go to Dathomir, raise all these witches? He's going to raise a witch army. Is he going to attack the New Republic? Like, I'm more curious about Thrawn and Ahsoka than I am with Plagueis because one, they cannot deviate too far from Plagueis' story in Legends because the outcry will be insane. So I think we kind of know where Plagueis ends up.
They can't with Thrawn either, though, I'd say.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
Like, you can't fuck Thrawn. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Like, you get one shot at this, and if you mess it up.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it. They're pretty much bringing in 2 of those popular EU characters, like, ever. I mean, Plagueis was never... Plagueis wasn't always EU. I mean, he's canon because of the prequels. But, I mean,
the
story is EU. Yes. Thrawn and him have very important stories that a lot of people know. Probably the 2 most popular books, The Heir to the Empire and Plagueis.
I mean, arguably, Plagueis could even be bigger than Heir. Like, in terms of, like, from newer fans anyway.
From newer fans, I agree. Sales-wise, Heir is, but it has quite a few years on Plagueis.
If you would have told me 5 years ago that we'd be getting Thrawn and Plagueis stories in Star Wars, I would have told you you're out of your mind. Well, probably not 5 years ago because I was 2019, so it was probably closer. 2015 when The Force Awakens came out. I would have been like,
I mean, if you told me this after The Last Jedi, I would have been like, we're never getting that shit.
Or, I don't even know if I would have wanted it.
Right. Yeah. Oh man. Only show I've thought about after the finale. Mando season 3, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett. I'll never revisit those. Oh man, I rewatched Ahsoka this year, and I thought it was almost better the first time. I mean, better than the first time I watched it. And Book of Boba, I've watched the Luke episode so many times. I love that episode.
I honestly think it's just better just to drop all the episodes at once.
Yeah.
Like, if Ahsoka was dropped all the way at once, it would have been 10 times better than it was to begin with.
I agree.
I think they just need to do it. Just for one of these shows, just do it.
I think they should try. I think that's a good idea. Clark, what's going on, man? The hack writers of Disney have turned the Star Wars lore into Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. It is becoming, Clark's an EU fan also. It is becoming this interesting thing where it's like the EU fans are arguing with like the new Disney fans, and it's like because there's little changes here and there, and I don't know. It's very it's becoming very convoluted, like the two timelines.
Yeah.
But this is what it should have been from the beginning. They should have never said like, hey, we're wiping out Legends completely, we're starting fresh. And then Kathy goes into an interview and says, we have no book material, like we're doing all this fresh.
Yeah, we don't have any source material. You have 4 years of source material.
Exactly. And utilize it like the MCU did, right? Like they took the comics that existed and they made their own story with pieces of the comics.
Literally, the Fantastic Four movie is being made off of the 2015 comics.
Yep.
And same thing with Secret Wars. I think it was maybe 09. Like, they're taking the most recent ones, or not most recent, but very recent ones, and adapting them.
Right. And this is how it should have been from the beginning, I think. Like the Thrawn story, like, okay, you want to throw Ahsoka in there, you want to throw, some new characters from Rebels, whatever. Do it, but give us Heir to the Empire at the same time. Fans would eat that shit up. But the problem is now it's like they did 3 movies that completely disregarded everything from Legends. We got no solo twins. We got no Luke married or having a son. We basically got no Thrawn in the sequel trilogy. And so it looked as if it completely disregarded the entire EU. And now it's like they're backpedaling is what it looks like, because they're bringing in Thrawn, they're bringing in Plagueis.
And we should have got the Heir to the Empire trilogy as the sequel trilogy. I would have just hit the ground running with the fans to begin with.
Yeah, I think they should have pushed back obviously, because our actors, Mark and Carrie and Harrison were all older, so push back the timeline a little bit, but do it. Why not?
It's almost idiotic to not do it, I would say.
Yeah. Here we are. They're kind of backpedaling, and you're right. It is kind of like a meme at this point, where Kathy's saying we don't have source material, and all the shows are coming out using the source material. So it's like,
yeah, it's a little ironic. I will say too, I'm very excited for where we're going with Ahsoka season 2, especially with all the casting. Because I don't know if you saw, they're looking for a Balin recast.
Yes, they're looking for a Balin recasting. They're allegedly casting the mother.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Abloth.
Yes.
So, we're just on to greater things now.
Sure.
And I couldn't be more excited for it. All the people saying Star Wars is dead, they've been saying that since The Last Jedi, and it's more alive now than ever. Like, I mean, arguably though, like I genuinely think this is the most alive time it's been. Since
I will say, it seemed like there were maybe some higher highs around like Mando 2 and Kenobi. I think some people soured a little bit after that, which is fine. That's going to happen. But yeah, we're getting new Star Wars content every year. I think this Filoni-verse, yes, and I think this Filoni-verse, when it hits the big screen with the Mando movie and then his own movie, I think it's gonna
bring people back.
Yeah, I think it's gonna,
because then everyone's gonna start saying like Star Wars is back.
Yeah, I think so, especially when we inevitably get like badass Luke.
John is gonna do justice to everything. Jon Favreau. I don't want to seem like I'm glazing, but Jon Favreau is insane when it comes to even like from like television, but doing it in a movie format. This is his bread and butter. And from watching the behind the scenes and making the shorts on it, this dude cares just as much as Dave does.
I mean, I trust Favreau with the whole franchise if they gave it to him.
Yeah, I know they could have Dave by his side with it too.
Yeah, well, because Dave is his Lord Master, basically. You know what I mean? Yeah, 100%, 100%, man.
Plagueis will kill Junior without a doubt.
Agreed.
Goonies in space.
Yes. 4 kids. They get lost in the galaxy. Looks like maybe a rogue Force user, probably not a Jedi, because obviously the Order's been gone for quite a bit at this point in time, is assisting them along this journey. We don't know much about him, but he's played by Jude Law, and it is during the Mando timeline. That's all we know. We don't know if there's going to be any cameos. We know there's going to be pirates.
Yeah, and the pirates are going to connect with Mando season 3.
Yes, correct. That's all we know.
Yeah,
it could be badass. I mean, I know it's going to be targeted towards a younger audience because it's a kid centric show. But hey, Stranger Things was a kid centric show that is amazing. Yeah. So,
and also too, we just mentioned Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Sean Levy's Star Wars movie is going to blow it's dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm really curious to hear what it's about.
Dave, John, and Sean Levy, these 3 will revive the franchise.
Yeah, and I don't think we talked about this last week, but I think the Sean Levy film is going to come out before the Rey film. I think the Rey film is just getting pushed back.
I'm all for it. Because then if we get that trilogy and they see that works, and when they do with the Rey movie, if it doesn't work, then they know where to go.
Yeah.
If Sean's movie comes out before Dave's, I hope he introduces Mara in that movie, because I know he would do her justice in that.
Oh, that'd be badass. But so, do you think Sean's movie will take place in Mando era?
Yeah,
that'd be so cool. Honestly, I feel like he should you know what he should be doing? He should be doing a Boba movie.
Yeah, and him and Peyton Reed are friends, and I guarantee he saw Mando season 2 in the finale, and was like, I have to do something with this.
God, that's gonna be so sick.
Because literally a year later is when we got the news that he would be directing a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and he even talked about it in a recent interview. Like that shit is happening.
Literally like a week ago.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
They already have a writer for it too. So
yep,
they're ahead of the Rey movie on that one. They have a writer, but they're like changing it every.
They have no script for Rey's movie. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And Sean Levy knows what he wants to do with this too.
Yeah.
Imagine season 2 just being about Plagueis hunting down Ocean Khmer. That's all I want from season 2.
That's what we can.
That's all we have room for.
Yeah. Is that Keanu Reeves there?
As Revan.
Yeah. Oh yeah, love it. I'm just not an Ahsoka fan at this point, as a character or as Oh yeah, I think you mean as a character. She gets kicked out of the Order to not get 66. They invent time travel to keep her alive. Now she's in the galaxy. So
she didn't get kicked out. She left. Order. There's a difference on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually somewhat agree with the sentiment. Ahsoka as a character, I like, but she should have died at the hand of Vader. That is a massive. Bringing her back to the World Between Worlds, I'm not a fan of. If she died at the hands of Vader and that was like the end of it, her story, that would have had so much meaning, more so than, oh, she was alive the whole time the Empire was out there, she just didn't do anything about it. That's tough.
Yeah, and I would have wished she died to Vader, and honestly, I almost wish that she didn't. She didn't live past Order 66. I feel like if she would have died even by Vader, like during Order 66,
that would have been crazy.
That's what I would have preferred the most.
Yeah,
I'm just saying though, there is a difference.
As Anakin, like she sees he's Anakin,
like Nightfall Anakin,
crazy. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, but there is a difference from her being kicked out and her walking away. I think her walking away means a whole lot more than her just being simply kicked out.
Oh yeah, I really like that arc in the Clone Wars when she walks away from the Order. It makes sense. It's like, come on. No, I get it, dude. I'm totally with you there. I mean, she has somewhat overstayed her welcome. I'm kind of hoping she stays in this other galaxy and that we can just get a story about her in this other galaxy, so that she doesn't step on Luke's toes, with Thrawn and everything. That Thrawn story should really be about Luke and Leia and his new Jedi Order with Ezra, and whatever else, whoever else he can find to come help him fight Grogu. Oh, man.
But yeah, from the get-go, it should be Luke's story.
Yeah. Starlight says that he likes the Ahsoka show. She, I don't know. Starlight's. I'm thinking of the boys,
Yeah.
I like the Ahsoka show for season 2. They just need to make it animated. Live action is way too expensive, and you can't replace Balin's skull. Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, you can't.
It's gonna be live action.
And like I definitely don't want Ray to get like recasted, but at the same time, this character has so much going for them. They need to keep have it continued. And I think at the time, Chadwick Boseman's replacement was not the right move, but after Secret Wars, it should be. Like we still need T'Challa in the MCU.
I would agree.
And I think enough time has passed now.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with Harrison Ford replacing William Hurt.
That was interesting. I mean, we kind of knew it was happening, but it's just like
Harrison's also 83, so
yeah, he looks good for 83.
He does. Harrison's gonna live to 100, dude. Like he's like Davis Lisan Al Gaib, but yeah, he is.
Lisan Al Gaib.
I was about to say it.
Yeah, Lisan Al Gaib. For sure, he is 100%. He's the chosen one. Him and Favreau, man. I don't even know if I'd trust him without Favreau at this point. Like I trust Favreau so much. I
think that they're the perfect duo for it.
Yeah, they're a really good pair. Favreau's got so much experience doing other movies,
Yeah.
I mean, and other kinds of movies too. I mean, he's done comedies, he's done dramas, he's done, the Marvel movies. So he's got so much experience. I think it just helps a lot.
I would say too, the Bad Boys directors, they directed some episodes in Miss Marvel, and they did Bad Boys and Batgirl. They're in the running to helm Spider-Man 4, and it'd be like
I saw that. Yeah,
it'd be grounded. I don't know if you've seen Bad Boys 4 or any footage from it, but they did a chest rig with firearms, like with handguns. It looks amazing. Like
I haven't seen it.
Like that duo works perfectly. Like Dave and John as a duo works perfectly. There's very few of them in Hollywood, I feel like, that work like that, and they are one of them.
Yeah. Safdie brothers.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the two dudes that did Game of Thrones, they do work really well together.
When they're not rushed.
Yeah, when they're not rushed and when they're not eager to get to the next project, which happened to be a Star Wars project that they're not making anymore. So
what are you gonna do?
What are you going to do? I hope Finn becomes a Jedi in the Rey trilogy. Also, imagine Ben Solo returning from the dead.
I don't know about the dead. Probably as a Force ghost, I would see it.
He definitely would have had the Force ghost training because Luke,
and Leia too.
Yeah, for sure.
I wish we would have got to see way more of Leia's training, though.
Oh my gosh, I love that scene, man, in Rise of Skywalker. That is a great scene where they're training together.
I still go back and rewatch it because I'm doing a review on Leia's saber.
I
went back and rewatched that scene, and I was like, we were robbed of not getting more of this.
I know. It's crazy. That's Billy Lord, who's her stand-in.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
Billy could just play her mom.
Right.
I think it would be the right thing to do.
I agree. This would be cool. I want to see the Kane Mutiny retold as a Star Wars story. Court-martial of officers on Imperial Star Destroyer. Biggs Darklighter would be the defense, and Admiral Thrawn would be the judge. That'd be crazy. Oh man. Well, any last thoughts on Acolyte or anything like that? I know it's over. It's over now until they tell us otherwise. So,
well, just to almost reverse Alleginis, we are now out of the dark times. So
we're on to bigger and better things. We can start looking forward to Skeleton Crew, and I think we're gonna get a trailer at D23, which is in 22 days.
Yeah, and then probably within 22 days from that, we're gonna be at Fan Expo. So
yes, exactly. Exactly.
The next month as a whole is just gonna be a banger because we also get the Lego. We get the Lego Star Wars.
Oh yeah, the alternate reality thing. Yeah, that should be fun.
It's gonna be fun. Like even like. I didn't watch like any of the Lego Christmas specials or anything, but when I saw that with Darth Jar Jar, I'm like, yep.
Yeah, that'll be fun. for sure. All right. Well, yeah, I think we'll call it there, guys. Appreciate you guys all joining. And Clark's right. We are going to do a live stream watching an anime called Star Chasers. We're going to watch it and we're going to see how it goes. It looked interesting and good to me, but we're going to see. It's Star Wars light, it looks like. So it should be fun. We'll do that at some point. We'll schedule that up.
I would also like to, like, I don't know if we'll do it together or not. It's entirely up to you. I want to do like a watch party and go through the entire Gandhi Clone Wars.
Yes, we should do that.
But I want Retney to send us it in 60 FPS. Have you seen this interloped video of it?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
dude, like,
it looked good.
I get that it's not the same as like what it was, but that fight just looks so much better at 60 FPS.
Yeah. Honestly, the show looks great anyway. I did watch it last year, and I'm always up to rewatch it, dude. So we should definitely do that. That'd be fun.
I haven't watched it fully the entire way through. I've watched like 40 minutes here, 50 minutes here. Just
okay.
I haven't watched it like all in one sitting all the way through.
Yeah, you can complete it in about 2 hours, so it's not bad. Yeah. All right, right on. So, we got one last comment. I just came in, but it should have never happened. I have no faith in Skeleton Crew. Dude, I have faith in Skeleton Crew. Come on, man. It's still Favreau produced. It's Filoni produced. It's John Watts writing and directing. What's not to like there? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, and also, you don't have to. It's okay to not have faith in it, but I'd say if you're a Star Wars fan, give it a shot because I think it's going to be better than people.
Give everything a shot once, and if you don't like it, then you don't like it. Give it one episode.
And if you're not a Star Wars fan, don't give it a shot. That's fine.
Yeah,
you don't
go watch Game of Thrones. House of Dragon.
House of Dragon is sick.
The Boys, you name it.
That's right, Starlight. I think I got high hopes for that one, man. I got high hopes for that one.
We better get a Josh Brolin cameo. That's all I gotta say.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be cool.
All right, I'm out of here, guys. We will see you next time. I am going to be gone for a couple weeks, so
enjoy
our
your trip.
next stream will be thank you. Our next stream will be in the beginning of August.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and make sure to check out some Cantina Jargon merch. It all will help support the channels and our future projects.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And that is on Caden's fourth wall. So go to his channel, Cantina Talk.
Should also be pinned on my stream as well.
Oh, there we go. Right on. All right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you later.
Be with you all.
May the